Hi, this is Francis from Easel. We're back with the second part of our 3D file design tutorial with the intention of importing it into Easel. In the last video, we imported two 3D files that we picked up from Thingiverse.com into TinkerCAD, and now we're going to use TinkerCAD to create a full 3D sign design file. We picked up two 3D files. We've got an F1 car here, and then a 3D file of the F1 track Monza. So in TinkerCAD, you can adjust any file that you import by selecting it. And then very similar to Easel, it'll have a bounding box. You can click one of the corners of the bounding box and drag it diagonally to adjust the size of an object, or you can click on any of the kind of long stretches to adjust it in one dimension. And then you can also increase the Z height by kind of panning over and looking at it from the side, and there'll be a box here. You can click it and raise it. And any one of these bounding boxes that you select, or any one of these small boxes that you select, will also have a measurement. You can click into that and type a dimension if you have a specific dimension in mind. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Very similarly, you can click here and click into there and adjust it. The first thing I'm going to do is kind of move my two 3D objects off of my workpiece for now, because I want to make the base of the sign first. And to do that, I'm going to grab a square from the basic shapes in TinkerCAD, and I'm going to adjust it to the size that I want. So I'm going to do we'll do an 8 by 8 sign. No, maybe something a bit different. We'll do an 8 by 6. But I did that in the wrong dimension. 8 by 6. There we go. That looks just about right. And I'm going to use that. And then it's a little thick. Since we're carving this on a CNC, I'm going to change this to, we'll do 0.75. So it's 3/4 of an inch thick. And that's my sign base. And I'm ready to kind of add the rest of my 3D designs on top of it. And to do that, I'm going to select first the track. And we can see that when I drag it over, it's hidden under this sign base that I have. So I'm going to move it up a little bit. And to do that, I'm going to, if you look at it from the side, there's this little cone object, and that's how you move 3D files up and down on the plane that they're in. And it's really easy. You just grab it and you can move it up and down on the plane it's in, and then it'll stay there once you stop clicking and holding it. And so I've moved it onto the plane that I like, and I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. And maybe move it over just slightly. And so I think that looks pretty good. Again, it's on the plane that I want it to be on. If I zoom in, we can see that it's connected to the rest of the sign base. Ooh. It's connected to the rest of the sign base. Let me zoom out here a little bit. And I'm ready to add my next component. So I'll drag my F1 car over. Very similarly, I'm going to have to raise it up a little bit, maybe just a little bit more. And now I can see the whole thing, but it does look like it's sitting really high on the design. So I'm going to smush it down a little bit. And I think this works especially well because for CNC 3D carving, it's basically top-down carving. So you'll still see the top of the F1 car really well. But the side will be kind of smushed down, so it's a little less carving time and a little less material that you're using. So we're just going to bring it down a little bit. I think that looks just fine. Again, if we're looking at it from the top, it looks pretty consistent. I'm going to adjust it a little bit. I think that looks good. And that's kind of going to be the basis of my 3D sign. I'm going to do one more thing to it. And that's, if you looked at the boat sign that I referenced in the first video, it had little cutouts in each of the corners. So I'm going to make that here. And to do that, it's very simple. I'm just going to grab this basic shape. And you can see that a lot of these shapes have colors to them. These shapes have little kind of light gray, dark gray slashes through them, this means that it's going to basically remove material. It's kind of like an eraser, or in a better term, it kind of creates a hole. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to center this cylinder on the corner point of this material, and then that's going to create that kind of cutout effect on each of the corners. And I will kind of demonstrate that here. It should kind of snap right to it. And then when I export this, it will, you'll be able to see that it'll take out those corners. And so we just have to do that to each part of this. And it's a relatively quick process. That one doesn't look like it's quite there yet. It's just really simple. Let's see, I gotta move over a little bit. There we go. And so now I've kind of made my sign. The last thing I'm going to do is just select everything really quickly and take a look at it. I think, you know, for CNC, I think it's going to be a little too thick. I mean, it's 3/4 of an inch base, and then there's stuff sticking out. So I'm just going to kind of reduce the depth of everything. Reduce the depth of everything just a little bit. We'll do 3/4 of an inch. And so now this is my sign. I've made it in TinkerCAD, and I'm ready to export it and then import it into Easel. And that's going to be the last video, which again, I'll link below. I'll link TinkerCAD below and Thingiverse, which we used in the first video. And then if you have any questions, just please let us know. Have a wonderful day.
To learn more, head over to easel.com.